He's going to screw the country, big style.
Labour Party at the minute, they're moving away from working man.
You're talking to someone whose father was a member of the Communist Party.
I don't like racism.
Yeah, it's a good question, that.
Get on with sorting country out.
Good morning from sunny Barnsley. We are here in this South Yorkshire market town. It's a former mining town, a couple of weeks ahead of the May the 7th local elections. This is a place that has always been Labour, but that could all be about to change.
And we are proud to announce that we are fielding the full 63 Reform UK candidates required.
Even if Reform don't win it, they're set to make huge gains. This is what Council Leader Steve Houghton has called the
biggest elections in Barnsley's history.
And he's not wrong, because for a town that absolutely hates the Tories and hates Thatcher, they're looking at giving a party that is absolutely stacked full of former senior Tories a chance at winning. But sometimes it's a little bit more complicated than that, and that's why we've come to Barnsley to talk to people here and find out what they think. This is actually gorgeous. Like, the glassworks, the town centre, everything's really clean. Like, so many places in the UK now, you're seeing like runs of boarded up shops, and there aren't many things open anymore. This is a great town centre. Aaron Bastani would absolutely love this town centre. If you were going to vote, who do you think you'd go for?
None of them.
You look at what's going on in House of Commons at the minute, they're not talking about how to save country, they're talking about somebody being elected into something that they now got sacked from. You know, get on with sorting country out, not talking about something that happened last year.
I think they promised they'd gone back on. It's just a farce.
Do you mean the Labour Council or the Labour government?
The Labour government, but obviously the Labour Council, they're just as bad.
Yeah, people are just fed up of no change.
Prices and everything just keep skyrocketing, everything's going up, people can't afford to eat. Nobody should ever be struggling to live or eat in a society, ever.
You should vote for the locality rather than the national political picture. Local people working hard for local communities is what you're voting for.
Yeah.
Not Nigel Farage or Kemi Badenoch.
Labour Party came from people in unions that created a movement to look after working man, and now they're not doing it.
No, I think people are going to think differently this election.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I definitely do. That's what I've heard anyway. You know, people, they're saying everybody I've spoken to are saying they wouldn't vote Keir Starmer.
So essentially, Labour Council, who've done this, might get a real kick in because of Keir Starmer.
Possibly, big possibility. I think he's two-faced. I don't think he's a person that you could trust with anything, because every decision he makes, he turns round on.
So does that mean that you're leaning towards not voting on 7th of May?
Oh, I vote.
And who do you think will get your votes?
It'd have to be at Labour Party, because the things that they've done for places I work at, but it don't mean that they're the best, it just means that they're best of a bad bunch.
So not tempted by Reform?
Not unless you're racist.
How would you feel if Labour lost control and it went to Reform?
And then it's war, I'd be annoyed. I just don't like his rhetoric and the way he comes out with stuff.
What do you think of him, Nigel Farage?
I don't even know, I'm only seeing him, I'm a celebrity.
Can you believe what he says? You can't believe what he says. He has none of my values at all about community, caring for people.
Barnsley people are always quite close-knit, but I think the spirit of community, not just here but everywhere, is lost.
He can't get in. Not with the country how it is. We've got to integrate, not separate.
How would you feel if the Barnsley Council went to Reform?
It wouldn't bother me, really. I mean, if they got in, if they made some changes, and we actually saw some changes happening, then why not give them a chance?
They don't want Reform to get in, but they want to a protest vote.
Do you think that's something you'd consider doing?
No.
Not a single person we've spoken to today has said that they are leaning towards voting Reform. Do you hear people say?
Barnsley people won't tell you. Everything always is quite close to the chest.
Now, why are we so interested that Barnsley might go to Reform? That's because it could be a national bellwether, and if such a Labour stronghold like Barnsley goes to reform, anywhere can, and it means that Labour has truly lost the red wall. To use a bit of a tired metaphor, Barnsley is looking like a bit of a canary in a coal mine for this on May 7th. We are about 20 minutes outside Barnsley in a little town called Goldthorpe. This is a place that was absolutely decimated by the closure of the mines, so much so that when Margaret Thatcher died, they actually burnt an effigy of her here.
Goldthorpe has never forgotten, never forgiven.
So we were in Goldthorpe and it was just incredibly tricky to get people to engage with us. People didn't want to be on camera, they didn't want to give their opinions, and they certainly did not want to talk about politics. Are you going to vote?
No, I don't believe in politics.
And this confuses me a little bit, because when we were researching in the run-up to this show, I've been lurking in the Reform Barnsley Facebook groups, and it's all incredibly confident. There's loads of pictures of stalls at the weekend. Reform are running 63 council candidates throughout Barnsley. They have got numbers here, but today we are really struggling to find somebody who will speak to us and say that they're leaning towards voting Reform, which feels a bit odd. And not to forget the polling data either, which shows that Reform are predicted to get an absolute swathe of seats. So where are all these Reform voters? That was the old Pithead. Barnsley is famously a former mining town, and that might be why we're having a little bit of trouble finding Reform voters today, because there might be a sense of shame that a party that has absorbed so many high-profile ex-Tories is caught in their vote. Maybe people don't want to say it, but they're going to go into the polls and check that box on May 7th. We'll see.
I mean, this is a hugely challenging time. People out there for various reasons feel fed up. They're wanting, there's a mood out there, I think, an appetite for change. The question I would always put to people is, what does that change look like? There is a real risk that all of the progress that we've made, all of the opportunity that we've created in Barnsley, all of that is put at risk on 7th of May. Keir Starmer's not standing in Barnsley. Nigel Farage is not standing in Barnsley. This is about Steve Houghton, Barnsley Labour versus, a Reform party locally. I think local, vote local, back Barnsley would be my message to people.
Is it all on camera?
Yeah.
I cannot, I'm sorry.
Do you think you'll vote?
I'm gonna say no.
Is that good? No. Well, we're asking lots of people if they're going to vote on the 7th of May, and if so, who they're going to vote for. And so far, everybody has said they're not voting and they're not bothered.
I don't feel as though I've got a voice for radio.
All right. Well, neither have I.
Everyone's got a voice for radio.
Have they?
So why have you come shopping in Barnsley today?
Because it's far better from Doncaster.
I mean, that was the most success we've had, and these ladies are from Doncaster. We're nearing the end of our day here in Barnsley, and we've really tried to speak to as broad a cross-section of the public as we possibly can. Now, what might happen in a few weeks is that on the 7th of May, Reform do make huge gains, but I do think it's really significant that out of all the people we've stopped and spoken to today, since 10 a.m, not a single person has been willing to say that they're even considering Reform. I think one of the really interesting things from today is people standing to be Reform councillors have not been willing to speak to us either, and have told us that a directive from their head office is that they don't speak to the media. No media at all, not just Novara Media. The other thing that our anonymous Reform candidate told us is that they expect to take a third of the vote on the 7th of May. Now, that doesn't quite tally with the people that we have spoken to today. One of the things I'd say is that things are probably just never as simple as they appear. We kind of came here thinking it'd be a bit of a Labour wipeout, but maybe people aren't that sure. They seem to smell a bit of a rat when it comes to Nigel Farage. People aren't stupid. But then there's also a sense of wanting to shake things up a bit, wanting to have a protest vote, wanting to have their voices heard and show the government and show the council that their votes can't be taken for granted. But back at my desk, I logged into Facebook, and guess who visited Barnsley just a couple of days after our trip? None other than Nigel Farage. Clearly, this is an area he wants to take from Labour. Now we'll have to wait until May 7th to see how the voting shakes out in Barnsley, but one thing's certain, Reform has whipped its candidates not to talk to the press, which makes you wonder, what are they trying to hide?